Charge-offs and write-offs are the number one thing that concern each one of you who are watching this video, because if you got charge-offs on your credit reports, it stops you from being able to move forward. Charge-offs and write-offs are from lenders who have decided internally that you will not be able to make payments to them. So if you, for example, if you have a credit card debt, revolving or any type of revolving account, they are required to charge off the account, which puts it into the non-performing account accounting book or whatever you want to call it, either 120 days or 180 days. It's with credit cards, it's mostly 180 days. So if you don't make payments for 180 days, so 6 months straight of no payments, non-payments, they're going to charge off the account. Sometimes even if you make one in between, they can decide internally to charge off the account. When they charge off the account, this is very important. Listen to me on this. When they charge off the account, that does not mean that they've forgiven the debt. That does not mean that they can't sell the debt. That does not mean that they can't write off the debt to the IRS without doing a 1099-C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you my number one strategy for getting charge-offs either removed or zeroed out to where it will have minimal effect on your credit. Minimal effect, because the big thing is everybody is worried about what's on the credit reports, which is that's the right thing to think about. You want to make sure that your credit is as clean as possible, because if it is, when other lenders look at loaning you money, they're going to be able to say yes and give you the best rates. But you're not going to be able to get rid of every charge off on your credit reports. And I can tell you from reviewing thousands of different clients' credit reports, you don't have to get all of the charge-offs removed off your credit reports, but you do. The most important thing is that you got to get the information that's on there corrected. So first, let's start off with my number one strategy to be able to get charge-offs removed off of your credit reports, because this is going to help you be able to get loans if you need to get loans, or get an apartment if you need to get an apartment, or if you're trying to get a mortgage, you're trying to get a better interest rate on the vehicle. It's going to help you be able to move forward in your life a lot better, and also allow you to be able to save more money. That's why the biggest benefit to working on your credit, no matter how long it takes, the biggest benefit is that you're ultimately, by you getting into a better position with your credit, you're going to be able to save money, because people with bad credit pay more for the same things that people with good credit pay less for. That is a fact. I've seen that. I've seen it with my own eyes, with myself. I've seen it with my clients, is that the number one thing that holds people back from being able to save money, to just be able to move forward and save money and have a better financial outlook, is that they are bogged down with bad credit and they're paying more for the same things. They got the person A and person B driving the same car, and person A is paying less for that vehicle with insurance and monthly payments than person B is, and it's solely because person B has bad credit. Like, that's it. So if you want to stop being person B, you need to listen to me and start putting this stuff into action, or getting with a company that's going to put this stuff into action for you, because it's going to benefit you moving forward in your life. I know I repeat that, but I know that if you can get to feeling good about moving forward, it's going to help you be able to fight more and harder to do something about your situation. So now, when a charge-off happens, that's from you not making payments, and we'll use the example of credit card, for more than 180 days. You're going to be hurt two ways. Number one, you're going to be hurt because you did not make the payments. So you have a couple of things that you need to overcome. And a lot of people forget about it. They're like thinking, okay, even if I can get the information corrected on my credit reports, I still have to deal with these late payments, 30 day, 30 day, 30 day for 6 months straight. That's going to be reported on your credit report. So your scores are going to be going down while you're not making payments. And then it's going to have the ultimate drop when it's charged off. So so if you have the charge off, so let's fast forward. You got the charge offs on your credit reports. This is the best strategy that I use to help my clients be able to get a charge off either removed or updated to where the algorithm will not hurt your credit reports. And we all know what an algorithm is. That's where it is being read by the information that is on your credit reports. And if you have that information being read, what's on your credit reports by the credit reporting agency's algorithm, and certain information is showing on there a certain way, it's going to read it a different way. So let's look at it from the beginning. You have the charged off accounts. You had the late payments. Algorithm is reading late payment, lower score. You have at a certain point charged off account. Algorithm is reading charged off account. Algorithm is written lower scores again. Now, how do we reverse that algorithm? The first thing is that we got to get our credit reports. We got to look at exactly what is being said and what is being done with that charged off account. First, and some of you may not like what I'm about to say, the first option is if they have not sold that debt, the first option is you're going to go through a process with that original creditor to see what they're going to do with that debt. And option number one that we tell our clients, if it is freshly charged off, is to approach that original creditor about doing a settlement. And when you do that settlement, it will report on your credit reports that it was paid for less. It does not state paid for less by whom, which is going to go into our next option to be able to get that charged off removed. But it does not state who paid it off for less, and it's just going to say paid for less. The algorithm will read that updated information, and it will increase your scores, or it will, if you don't have any other credit that you're paying on, it will just flatline the damage. Like it's not going to hurt you anymore, and it will start to raise your credit up. Why is it starting to raise your credit up? Because it's going to consider that that charged off account is resolved. So you might be saying, well, Steve, it has late payments on there, has charged off account on there, and then it has paid for less. Take it from me, someone who does this as a career in the industry. The algorithm is written that if that account is resolved, that it will not hurt you anymore, and it will start to increase your scores if you have other credit that you're paying on. Now, the other option to be able to get that information removed, let's go through some of the things that are required if you choose to do a settlement to resolve your account. And don't worry, stick with me. I'm going to go into if your account was sold, but let's just walk it down for this one right here. This is for the people who are like me, who want to hurry up and get stuff done. Because I did that on some of my charged off accounts. I just went straight into settling those accounts. And this was way in the 90s, before all this algorithm stuff was all, exposed like it is right now. It was just what I was just motivated to move forward and get this stuff done. So now let's go through some of the requirements when a debt collector settles that debt with you. Let's go through some of the requirements that are required. And if they don't do this, you will be able to use this information to get that information removed off your credit reports. So now, when you settle a debt with an original creditor, they are required to give you a 1099-C for the amount that they're going to forgive. the IRS is going to consider that income, because if you, and it should be considered income, right? Because if they loaned you 10,000, let's just say you had a credit card for 20,000, and you used that and you bought things, you got nice clothes or whatever you did with it, took nice trips, and then you settled out on that $20,000 debt for 10,000. I mean, let's be real, you benefited from it. But by law, IRS requires them to send the IRS a 1099-C stating that they forgave the other $10,000 of the debt, and they want that to be considered income. From what we found from numerous individuals, because I'm in the business and I know this for a fact, is that these companies were either late or didn't send them, or they were late in sending that to the IRS. So if you did not receive that information from the IRS within a specified period of time, so I got my notes up here, and a lot of people just don't know about this. So here's the penalty for the IRS. They need to get that information to the IRS within 30 days, or they're going to have a penalty assessed against them. And if they don't get it in by the August 1st deadline, they have another penalty. And then if they do it even later than August 1st, so all of them have to file those documents by August 1st. As a matter of fact, this is crazy. This is how the universe works. August 1st is going to be tomorrow. From this video that I'm making right now, August 1st, oh, it's going to be Friday. Sorry about that. July has 31 days. So from me making this video right now, we have 2 days. Every company that that forgave debt, that did a settlement, must file that document by August 1st. And that's the second deadline. That's the second deadline. Because the IRS wants to know, they want to get stuff lined up for the next year. So they want to know what they have to do. But they have to send that 1099-C within 30 days. If they don't send that 1099-C within 30 days, you can have that information deleted off of your credit report. So this is what you do for the second one. The second, well, this is within the first option, but the second thing that you need to do. So you request in your dispute to the furnisher, and you're doing this to the furnisher, did they submit the 1099-C within the filing 30-day requirement for that charged off account? You're just going to see, you could just send them that in writing, and then they're going to either send back that they did file it, or they're going to maybe not send back that they did file it within that specified period of time. But they do have an option to file it after August 1st. And then there's a third one where they can file it, but it'll be later. And this is where we're seeing a lot of companies where they're just way behind, and the IRS is 1 and 2 years later sending that 1099-C. But that doesn't matter. That's dealing with the IRS. There's a waiver form where you're not going to even have to pay any taxes on there. But for getting that information removed, you would be able to send to that furnisher, and we do this all the time, send to that furnisher and state that they did not submit that information as required. That hurts you. By them not doing that, that hurts you, because if the IRS can't get the documents on time, and then you're not able to do what you need to do on time because they didn't get the documents, you have to get that document from the IRS. They cannot send you that document directly. They have to send that to the IRS. They have to file it with them, and then they send that document to you. If they did not follow those steps, you can submit that you want them to remove all of the information regarding that charged off account, because they're in violation of filing requirements with the IRS. You can get that done. Now, let's move over to if they sell the account. If they sell the account and they have a balance on there, and they sold the account, the same thing is done, but you're adding, you're doing it as if you as if you paid it, but you didn't pay it. They sold it. And remember what I said earlier. It states on there that it says paid for less if you were to pay it. It doesn't say that you paid it for less. It just says settled for less or paid for less. Same thing needs to be notated if they sold the debt. They accepted payment. In both situations, they accept payment for less. That's the whole thing. It does not say that Steve settled the debt for less. It's implied. It's implied. So now, if they sell the account to a debt collection company, they accepted payment. So the first thing that you need to do is, if they state on there, they might state that it was sold. Or maybe they have it sold, but they haven't even made the update on your credit reports. So that's another issue, because now the information could be removed because they've sold the debt. Maybe you received a letter from a debt collector stating that they sold the debt to them and that they're trying to collect on it, but you look at your credit reports and it states, just has it stated on there, that it's a charged off account. It has no information on it that they have sold the debt. So right there you have them where you could use that document from the debt collector who purchased the debt, submit that dispute directly to the furnisher and directly to the bureaus, stating that that information is inaccurate on your credit reports and that it needs to be removed because that account was sold. Now, you might be saying, I'm already ahead of you. You're saying, well, Steve, all they're going to do is they're going to update it on your credit reports that the account was sold. And maybe they might put 0 on there as the balance. They're supposed to put 0 on the balance because you don't owe them anymore. Now, let's think about the algorithm. If they sold the debt and it's marked on there, let's just go worst case scenario. They mark it on there that the account was sold or settled for less, sold. Amount in your balance section is going to say 0. It needs to say 0. If it doesn't say 0, you already know that they're in violation. But if it says 0, sold to a different account holder, what is that going to do for the algorithm? So already you've just proven to yourself, not by taking my words, just by the simple fact of how algorithms are reading credit reports, that that's going to either flatline you again if you don't have other credit that you're paying on. If you have other credit that you are paying on, it's going to help you increase your credit scores because that account is going to reflect that it was paid for less or sold and has a 0 balance. You don't have to take my word on it. You just proved it for yourself. So that's how you would get that information removed. Okay, I'm going to stop the video here because I think I might overwhelm you. I might mess around and overwhelm you. What I've just given you is the strategy that we utilize to get charge-offs removed off of the credit reports or to get the status changed on your credit report so it can stop hurting you from moving forward with your credit. So what I want you to do is I want you to start working on your credit, whichever way. If you want to do it yourself, if you believe that you could, put together good arguments on paper for you, where you're going to go directly to the furnisher, to the lender, to whoever was the original creditor for your account. You're getting ready to start opening up some doors. And you need to be ready to fight if you do that. You need to be ready because it's going to be a lot of back and forth work. You have to stay persistent. You're going to have to be consistent with what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, and you can't get discouraged and you can't think that things have to happen overnight. You have to just fight for what you want, and in the end, when the fight is over, you will win. You just got to continue doing it. If you need help with your credit, please visit us with thecreditrepairshop.com. Go to www.thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes a Difference, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations, debt validation, cease and desist collection activities letter. If you're being sued by debt collectors, go to summonmaster.com, where you can upload a PDF copy, one PDF file of your court summons, and it'll create a fully formatted response to every allegation and a defense to help you win your case. All you have to do is sign, date, file it with the plaintiff attorney, file it with the court, sit back, balls in their court. You could get your case dismissed before the hearing if you do this, if you hurry up and give them enough time to review your defenses. If you have debt collectors coming after you, sending you debt collection letters, summons master, you can upload your debt letter. It'll create a formatted debt validation letter. I call it exclusive debt validation letter. All you have to do is sign it. You don't even have to date it. Just send it out certified mail. It can stop most debt collectors from coming after you. You can also grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitation, debt validation, cease and desist, collection activities letter. Links for everything is below this video. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments with thecreditrepairshop.com and summonsmaster.com.